I remember reading about an experiment that a company did, which was to have subliminal messages in a movie. So the movie would run, and for a couple of frames that wouldn't be perceived by the human mind, they would display people eating ice cream. And apparently, that particular day at the cinema, a lot of ice cream was purchased. Now, many countries around the world ban subliminal messages because it's considered to be not fair. It's considered to take advantage of the audience. Even though it's not really proven that it works or not, it's the very principle, like the very concept of it, that is abhorrent to normal people. But unfortunately, we do not live in a normal society because now the Witcher casting director admits that she wants to manipulate the people. She wants to use her position of authority in order to channel her manipulative energy upon you and your children. I mean, no, honestly, like, what type of person does that? Right, so, like, dialogue is not something that she wants. No, she wants to peer into the mind of your children and yours, and then to manipulate and reconfigure and restructure the way you're thinking. And then she goes on and says, like, yeah, this is what I do, bitch. I manipulate people. I manipulate you. And you are going to give me your time and money and put food on my table while I manipulate you. And this is normal, by the way. Like, everyone is like, oh, so progressive. Oh, ESG scores very high. Klaus Schwab, very happy, you know? Apparently, like, no one is having a problem with this. Am I the only one? Like, I'm ridiculous, aren't I? I am the one that's ridiculous because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, like, even if you were to manipulate people into doing something good, it's still immoral. Like, the concept of manipulation itself is abusive. Like, we as a society should get together and push social justice in order to eliminate manipulation from our media. It's immoral. But anyway, right, so, like, how would she like if I manipulated her? Would she like it if I manipulated her family? Probably not. So why does she try to manipulate me? Not to mention, I don't think it's even working. Like, I don't think that her manipulation techniques is as subtle as she thinks she is. Apparently, like, she had a very hard childhood, according to this interview. She wanted to work into the field of casting, and apparently she had a difficult childhood, and, you know, she hopes that she can affect change, like Obama, like Barack Obama, like the president of the United States. She can use her position in order to affect change into your household. Because apparently when you are in people's homes, she is in your home, right? Like, this is what she's writing. She is in your home in her mind. And they're watching this world. And it solidifies when she had a child. She's 5 now. And she thought how hard it is to be a girl. It is very difficult. It is excruciating to be a girl in the United States of America. That cisgender heteronormative patriarchy which collaborates in order to abuse people. And she remembers thinking that I have to help her, right? She has to help her little girl. This is why she's in your household trying to manipulate you, is to help her little girl so that she doesn't come under attack just like she did. Because apparently by the age of 9, she hopes that she won't experience someone calling her a bitch. So because you want to protect your little girl from harsh words, the dreadful, the most evil thing in the world, the harsh language, you chose to manipulate people that watch The Witcher. I got news for you, lady. I know this is astonishing and you should never say it. It's like what I'm going to say now is incredibly politically incorrect and horrible and dreadful. Every person on earth, okay, like every single human being, boy, girl, non-binary, eventually is going to run across someone that insults them. Unless you want to live in a cave, okay? Like, unless you want to live away from a society, eventually you are going to be insulted. I have been insulted. Granted, not with the word bitch, but like men get to be called virgins, you get to be called an asshole, you get to be called an incel, right? You go on Twitter to benefit from that experience. Like, there are so many insults. But like, to think that you can actually manipulate people and you're like an expert, you're tinkering with the people's unconscious biases, right? So like even you yourself don't know that you have unconscious biases, but that's okay because this showrunner at Netflix, she knows how to enter, to penetrate. She can penetrate your brain and she can change those biases that even you don't know, but she knows because she's more enlightened. I really hate this mentality. I hate this ideology. I hate everything there is to know about it. And not to mention the way she says that, oh, I casted strong and powerful women from California. It's like, okay, first of all, your show is fiction. Okay? Like, if anyone watches Netflix in order to learn how to behave human, that person has many problems. Like, if I was an alien and I read this interview, the moral that I would get about human beings was that women sit in front of the television and they suck the energy from Netflix in order to empower themselves. Like the Green Lantern ring goes on planet Oa and sucks that energy, right? Like Netflix is like that big Green Lantern. And all the females that they watch Netflix in order to suck the power. Like, feed me, Netflix. This is ridiculous. This whole ideology is a fucking joke. The only reason that this ideology exists is because it has censorship and prevents people from criticizing it. But when you say stuff like this, it's just like you are there to make entertainment. You're making a fucking TV show, alright? It's not even necessary for society. Like, people can live without the Witcher TV show, but the level of importance, the arrogance, like the very nature that you think like you're some sort of social engineer that is like capable of reorganizing the pieces or the chessboard of the thing that we call society is bewildering. Like, do you expect people to thank you for your service? Right? Like there are women out there that are suffering from actual discrimination, but apparently they should thank this lady. It's like, oh, thank you for the Netflix, because I used to be discriminated. I was so weak, but then I watched The Witcher and I became strong and powerful. Not to mention, like, most of the women from Netflix, they suffer from toxic masculinity, don't they? Like, is there a single female character from this show that you'd like to have as a friend? That you'd be like, you know, this is a wholesome person. This is such a nice person. Maybe there are. You know, I haven't gotten past season 1. I didn't like it. I know some people did. I know that the back of Superman, of Henry Cavill, that carried this show for a couple of seasons, probably hurts a lot. But for me, that wasn't even enough. I didn't like The Witcher at all. But anyway, now I know why. Because the people making it weren't trying to entertain me. They were trying to manipulate me. Maybe my bullshit meter just went off the scale. It's interesting because if you go on Twitter and you say that this is what they're trying to do, people are calling you all sorts of names and like, oh no, they're trying to gaslight you. But it's from the horse's mouth. Like, they're literally saying, yeah, we're manipulating people. Okay. Well, I can remain disinterested longer than they can stay solvent. And by the way, like, these are the same people that are now striking and you're supposed to feel sorry for them. Yeah, I mean, you know, if they don't get paid better, who's going to manipulate you? Honestly, like, if they genuinely think that they can manipulate people and end sexism and end racism, they should do it for free. I mean, your contribution to humankind is going to be remembered. People are going to raise statues for you, right? Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.